Joining us now is a man who won multiple NIAA championships. Then he moves up to the big leagues, they say. Well, you can do it down there. Can you do it up here? Yup, he did. Ends up being a head coach for Washington. In just 2 years, takes him to the national championship. How you doing? Keep it moving. Heisman contender and Penix and Odunze in the squad was lighting it up. And they were underdogs, and they won, and they won, and they won. Then they make it to the national championship. Then there's a job opening down in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Who used to coach that job? Oh, the greatest of all time. Who's prepared for it? Guy's been coaching for like 20 years, winning all the time. And he's doing the exact same thing for Alabama. Ladies and gentlemen, friend of the program, head coach at Alabama, Coach Kalen DeBoer. How you doing, man?
How you guys doing?
Hey, very, very, very good. Thank you so much for making time on this very busy Friday, I assume. All eyes are in Tuscaloosa. I thought there was going to be massive storms, so that's why the travel didn't work out. How is the weather down there? How should I be expecting to come in here in a few hours?
I think we're going to be good. Yeah, I was looking forward to seeing you, and I was wondering what happened, but you explained it. So I think we're going to be good. It's going to be a beautiful day, especially tomorrow. And we're ready to go.
Okay.
It'll be an awesome atmosphere.
How do you feel about this? Because the conversation, a big one, is, and Kirby was even getting asked about it. It's like, hey, this is the first time you've taken on Alabama without Nick Saban. How is that? And obviously filling in for Nick Saban, and by filling in, I mean becoming the head coach at Alabama after Nick Saban decides to retire and come do College Game Day, and he's phenomenal on that. Like, how has it been now that you're in we talked to you, I think, whenever it first happened, but now we're into the season, team's playing very well, all eyes are on Alabama. How has it been being the head coach of Alabama?
Yeah, I think there's different phases you go through, right? And the first one is just, I think the thing that it covers it all is it's still the work of being a head coach, and wherever you're at, there's the same thing, whether it's recruiting or, just bringing your team together, building a staff, all of it. I think no matter where you're at, it's all under that umbrella. And I think your question is alluding to all the other stuff that comes along with it. And that's been special. Our fan base and the passion that they have, our players, just all the different elements that come together. It's been fun to be a part of, and looking forward to all the great things that come along with the game day environment being here. That'll be not my first one overall, but my first one here, and it's going to be special. But yeah, Coach Saban's been great. I think he might even be joining you here too. So
yes.
lot of things with Coach Saban being in the program. That not live up to, but just things that we want to continue to carry on when it comes to the tradition of excellence that existed here for so many years.
Yeah, the standard being the standard is something that some people who have massive egos wouldn't be able to handle. And I think, after getting to know you, you are very much just like, hey, football guy, love football. I'm here to coach football. I'm honored to be the guy that gets a chance to coach Alabama after Coach Saban, where some people would be like, this isn't Saban's era anymore. This is my era. I feel like that's why you were the perfect guy for the gig, and I think we all kind of said that as it was taking place. Let's talk about your team, and you talked about this the first game day at Alabama. We were in Washington last year, 8-hour flight. It's way out there. I mean, it's beautiful. It is beautiful out there, but game day was out there, getting to experience that. Game day is going to be there this week, but whenever you become the head coach and they give it to Saban, there's like a 2-week period where people are allowed to just pluck your roster, pretty much. Just boom, bang, pow. With how much success you've had this year, I think Alabama fans were expecting it, but a lot of people outside were like, it might take a little bit here for DeBoer to be able to get this squad to what a DeBoer squad kind of looks like. How do you feel about where your team is? How do you feel about where your roster is? And the vets that stuck around, what is your message to them whenever you talk to them?
Yeah, that time back then in January, that was an intense time, probably one of the most intense times I've probably ever been through, as far as just the reality of your roster and trying to keep it together. But we were fortunate to have a lot of great staff that really helped guide these guys, helped kind of calm the storms that were happening. And then, of course, just our players. They did such a great job of really believing in this place, believing that we would get through it, and believing in themselves. And there was some unfinished business. And I think a lot of them hung their hat on that. And just as far as where we're at, I think we've filled in many of the holes that probably existed, and those guys have performed. We're kind of a mix of older guys, but we are playing a lot of younger guys. We have some true freshmen that are out there on both sides of the ball and doing a great job for us. And it's a tribute to the depth that was here in the program that was recruited here for us to be able to just continue on and feel like we're in a good spot, and we'll find out more about who we are as we go through the SEC schedule that starts tomorrow.
Keeping those guys and making them believe in your vision is a whole different ballgame, and we're learning about it at every school. Couldn't even imagine at Alabama. Go ahead, AJ.
Coach, obviously Jalen Milroe, the quarterback, sticks around for you. Like, how beneficial was that for you, knowing that, hey, this is a position I don't have to worry about? We know NFL, college, if you don't have a quarterback, like, it's tough to win games. Like, what has he meant for you and for that whole program?
Yeah, he and a few of the others, I think, just really collectively were integral. And from the quarterback position, as you're mentioning, so important to just kind of know who that guy is. He had some experience now last year where he really went through the fire. And I think, that off season where he could really have some perspective, take these next steps. It's been really fun being a part of the journey here over the last 9 months with him.
Coach, Tone Diggs has a question for you, brother.
Yeah, Coach, I know, your last two quarterbacks, Penix and Jake Kaner at Fresno, were both athletes. But Jaden Milroe is just a different athlete. So my question to you, do you like having that extra aspect to Milroe's game where obviously he can throw the ball, and Penix was an athlete as well and could run, but not like Jalen Milroe. Do you like having that extra addition to the offense?
Yeah, it starts with the pass game first. I think just feel like you recruit skill players, you recruit, running backs, tight ends, receivers, all of those guys to be able to distribute the ball and be a part of an offense that can stretch the field horizontally, vertically. So you have to be able to get the ball to those guys. But I think the added element when you have it, and especially a guy like Jalen, it just really can make you, super hard to defend. And, just balancing all of it is the trick, right? And, trying to maximize what he can do, but also keep everyone else involved. That's the balancing act.
I love the way he plays. He's electrifying.
Yeah.
Freight train. He could take over at any point with his legs. And then obviously, Gravedigger last year against Auburn puts it in an absolute bucket. Him sticking around, showcasing his leadership. Every day, I guess, he's great to be around. I guess his vibes are immaculate too, Coach, from what I've been told.
He's a hard worker. He's in here 4:30, 4:45 every morning, and just relentless. And we talk about the pursuit of continuous improvement, and that is him, to a T. Just every day, bringing his best. Smile on his face. He's here to impact others. He understands his platform. Just the role model that you want any son, daughter to look up to, and working alongside of him just every day. He wants to get better, and he's taking it all in, taking everything we're throwing at him. It's a joy every day.
He's awesome. He's absolutely awesome. And we saw that video of that little girl. Her name was Susanna. Susanna was her name.
Yep.
Yeah, and she said her favorite player was Jalen Milroe. And obviously, there was a little bit more chaos on the play. She went through the adversity, got the ball back, ends up scoring a touchdown. Place goes crazy. It's like these moments, whenever you see it behind the scenes, like sports are a beautiful thing. And your team, seemingly great humans, in this video. I think you should be phenomenally proud of the locker room you're leading, and obviously Milroe's at the front of that. Let's talk about the game tomorrow. Big one. Hey, big one.
Go.
This is a January game. This is a December game happening in September. Now, on that note, Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Coach, obviously you and Georgia both had bye weeks, last week, so you're coming off a 2-week rest. Is that something that, you like, or is it one of those things where you guys were so hot that you kind of have to take a break? And is it hard not to over-prepare for a massive game like this? Because like Pat mentioned, this is like an SEC championship, damn near a playoff game in September, which is awesome for the watcher, but I assume it's a little tough for you guys preparing for it.
Yeah, I think the timing of where it's at, and you just take it because it's the schedule and you can't do anything about it. So I think it's still good, though, because we've had fall camp 4 weeks plus the 3 weeks of games. Just mentally, physically, it's a great time to have a bye. Now, in preparation for this game, I think you take a lot of what you're talking about, playoff type or, postseason type scheduling, and you make sure that you don't try to do too much, and give the guys that little break. And we did that last week early on, but then start ramping it up. And I think we got a good build up going into to tomorrow, and just making sure, again, you hone in on what you do best, really trying to dial that in. That's what we've been trying to do all week long.
What are the labor laws down there? Ryan Williams, 17 years old?
That's right. Yeah.
This kid,
a boy.
How's this happen? Coach, how's this happen? He is phenomenal. And Ohio State has a freshman, too, that is just like Smith, Jeremiah, like just who's an absolute beast. It's like this 17-year-old kid's all over the field, and he doesn't look like he's undersized or anything. He looks like he's 25 years old out there. What a weapon, Coach. What an absolute story, too. 17-year-old taking over.
It's really cool. And what you really try to guard against, especially early on, is too much hype.
This guy, the greatest 17-year-old in the history of college
Hall
ball.
of Famer.
I'm sorry.
But the summer before he's even played one play, fall camp, and you can see each and every day what he's capable of, the plays he's making, and being around him, then you can just see the mindset he has and how impressive it is considering his age and the experiences or lack of experiences he's been through. But he's made the plays, and it's fun to talk about him because he is a team guy. He just he got a lot of pride in who he is. He's got a great way about him, but the team just respects him so much because of how he's handled all the attention already that he's getting, and he just loves ball, and it comes out every day through his work.
I love watching him play ball.
It's incredible.
Guys, homecoming was 2 weeks ago in high school. It's probably where he should have been.
Absurd.
Instead, he's scoring 2 tuds down in Tuscaloosa in front of Dixieland Delight. I couldn't even fathom that. What an absolute monster on the field. Go ahead, AJ.
Coach, when your game day atmosphere, I know you're aware of it, but it's awesome there. We were able to go last year. I know you weren't the coach at the time. But what does that mean for you guys? Obviously, Georgia coming in there. Like, that whole – I don't know. I guess I was not expecting it to be as unbelievable as it was, even though I know the history and tradition. But your guys' game day, what you're doing, I feel like is a huge advantage. Is that something that you take a hand and you have any part in?
I think a lot of the traditions have been put in place, and I think they're really good. So you don't change much of that, if any. And so I think for our guys, it really, they kind of, once they get to the stadium, we have our Walk of Champions. That's when they really feel the environment, the atmosphere, and of course, getting on the football field and add to it through their play. But it is an amazing environment from everything that I've heard, because I really don't get to see much of it either before we get there. But it's special. You can feel the buzz in the community, and it doesn't just on Saturday. It starts well before that, earlier in the week.
Allegedly, Miss Terry, I don't want to say founder of Game Day Ops, but like allegedly founder of Game Day Ops.
Legend.
Goes to all the other games in other stadiums, and they're like, why don't we, we need a little of this, we need a little of that, let's get our lights. And it was like very well run. AJ, I think that's our biggest takeaway.
A great mix, right? It was a great mix of like keep like the history, tradition of what it is, but also like, hey, we're evolving. We're going to play music. We're going to manipulate the lights. Like it's like a great mix of everything.
And the MC didn't suck. And that's like a big part. Like the MC is a massive piece of that. If they suck, the whole show is bad. MC crushed it. The light show was on. Back in the day, they turned the lights off. We need to wait 15 minminutes. These lights are coming back.
Yeah, what the hell?
Do you remember that, Coach?
You're right.
Yeah, I do. I've seen that. And I've seen them not turn back on. So, but that's all good. Yeah, it's pretty special. All the things and a lot of people working together to make a great environment.
Absolutely, make the place bananas. Let's talk about tomorrow's game. Obviously, your defense. I mean, you watch Kentucky. What happens to Georgia? I think it was 13-12, whatever. It was a very low-scoring, cagey affair with Kentucky. And do you watch a lot of that film? Do you expect the same team? Because it feels like early in this college season, there's been, for almost everybody, seemingly at this point, ups and downs. How do you prepare for tomorrow? What do you expect for tomorrow? And what are you hoping your team does to make sure you get the win at home tomorrow?
Yeah, I think the part you said there, it's early in the season. And so there is, every team is still trying to, work out the kinks and try to, you hope you have a really good sense of what your identity is, but sometimes it's a little different than even what you thought. And you're trying to build that. And the Kentucky game against Georgia, just extremely physical. And you certainly do look at that and you try to take from it, but you also know, especially with a bye week here, that Georgia's going to continue to evolve, continue to understand what they do well, and find the ways that they feel that they can attack us the best. And so you look at that game, but you got to look at also more things. There was a game played, obviously last fall, December, the championship, and there's some, a lot of the same personnel on both sides and scheme as well. Of course, offensively, defensively, we're a little different, but we're going to take the things from that and add to everything else we're putting in when it comes to the game plan.
We can't wait to watch your team tomorrow. Congrats on everything. Your story is awesome. Down there at the bottom on the graphic, 107-12.
Jeez.
That's pretty good.
Dude, you found your calling. And I'm excited to get down to your town tomorrow. You're the man. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Looking forward to seeing you. Thanks a lot, guys.
Good luck, Coach Kalen DeBoer.
Yeah, Coach.
107-12.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good. Not bad.
119 times he goes out onto the field to coach it. 107 times they win. That is absurd. Talk about like the perfect person to go in after Saban.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Been there, done that. NAIA coach, loves ball, committed to ball, loves team building, understands the modern day, though, was able to do it with Washington literally just last year in 2 years of being out there with that program. And then you think about the other side, this Georgia team.
Kirby's going to be on that ass.
And I saw, yeah, he is. He certainly is. This is going to be a welcome, to the SEC in a big way, and this is a welcome to Georgia-Bama and everything. I listened back to the SEC championship pick from game day. It was kind of put. It was kind of put onto.
Watched it a couple times.
Onto my algorithm a couple times.
Yeah, I saw that too.
And whenever you think about literally all the things I said, back-to-back national champs, 29 straight wins. What's that coming down the track is how I start that thing.
Yeah.
And obviously I black out in the moment, so I don't remember it exactly. But watching it back, that was a pretty cool moment. Lucky to be a part of in the entirety of that situation. Them not making it to the playoff. Okay, 29 straight, back-to-back national champs. Them losing that one game. That's it. This is the only blunder. And not making it into the college football playoff and not being allowed to be mad about it because the Florida State people were, remember?
Yeah, they were the one.
Florida State were screwed. Think about what Kirby has been doing to that team. Carson Beck. Now, obviously Kentucky, they might be a phenomenal football team. That's legit. And there is a chance that whenever it's all said and done, that game that happened 2 weeks ago against Kentucky is a very good win because what Kentucky's going to go on. But there's people that are thinking maybe the Dogs aren't as, as we thought they were going to be because of that 1 week. And then all of a sudden, what's their next opportunity? Alabama, in Alabama. Just from what we know of Kirby, that pregame speech, everything he's been saying to this Georgia Dogs team, DeBoer and the boys are in for a fight tomorrow in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, bloodbath.
They know it. Jalen knows it. Kirby knows it. And it's like every player that's walking onto that field understands that this is a lot bigger than just 1 week in September here. This is a massive part of this entire season storyline. And college football is throwing its fastball. Continue week in, week out.